Boo boo, welcome back to my channel. This is your boy, Short Guy with Purpose. Welcome back to another banger. Anyway, today, my people, I'm here to talk about very important thing. How to solve a dispute at the workplace. If you are at work, guys, this thing is relevant to you. Please keep on watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and share. Even if you don't work, because you might go through that when you are working. So you must at least be enlightened what's going on at the workplace, how to solve some issues or disputes that you have with your employer. Okay, first of all, the topic today that I'm going to talk about is dispute resolution. Today, I will explain what is a dispute. Firstly, dispute is a disagreement between two parties. It might be employee or trade union, because once an employee have a problem, he or she refer the matter to the trade union and employer or employers organization, because employer he or she also have the organization, which is employers organization. So the dispute, it might come in different forms. The dispute, it might come in a form of dispute of rights or dispute of interest. What do I mean by saying a dispute of rights? Dispute of rights is a disagreement between employer and employee through what is written down, or employee want to jeopardize or want to take advantage of employee because of maybe he or she doesn't know a certain thing. There are things that are the things that are from that employee, things that employee is entitled to. Those are the things that employee is entitled to. It might be in a form of the contract, the employment of contract, the contract of employment, common law, or the labor legislation. So employee cannot go over through that because it is written down. It is something that has been practiced. So the dispute of interest, when I come to dispute of interest, they are different. They vary from one another. When I go to a dispute of interest, I mean dispute of interest. It's what employees or employers or trade union want to achieve or is willing to gain or be given by the employer. They are not yet entitled to that. That is the dispute of interest. For example, if I'm working, maybe I'm not, maybe my tea time or my break time is 30 minutes. Then maybe employees are having a complaint about that. They can't do their own things during that short period of time. So maybe they want the tea time to be extended to 45 minutes. That is a dispute of interest. That is what we want to achieve. We're wishing to be given, to be entitled to be given by the employer, the employee, the employer to us as employees. So that is an interest. That is what we want to. It's not what we have. So when I go back to the dispute of rights, for example, every organization have a tea time or have a break time. For lunchtime, you can go and eat some lunch. Maybe you find out at your work you don't have a lunchtime. That's not it. That's not it. That is dispute of right. Maybe they choose who to associate with, who to talk to, who might not talk to. That's not there. That's a dispute of rights. You have a right to associate with everyone. You have a right to go and eat, because for you to be productive at the workplace, you need to have energy. So food is very important. So if guys you're going through those maybe those you have those disputes, there are certain channels that you refer the matter to. For example, if we're in an organization, the matter, you take it firstly to your supervisor internally. You deal with it internally. You take it to supervisor or trade union. That's where they will go or write a letter to an employer to set a meeting. That meeting, it needs to be held within the period of 30 days. 30 days, guys. That's where they will sit collectively. which is we call that process a collective bargaining. They bargain, they talk, they try to solve and come up with alternative solution in order to come up in order for them to meet each other halfway. Because remember, employer doesn't want to go less than employee, and employee also doesn't want to go less. So they need to come up with the what is that, a solution that satisfy both parties. But if it also fails, because sometimes it fails, so if it fails internally, that's where the trade union or employee, they will take that resolution, that is that thing that is been written down, because they tried to solve it internally. They will take it to CCMA. For what? There is a process which you call conciliation. When you take it there, conciliation is a process where uh, employer and employees or trade union are sitting down and given a chance to resolve the dispute peacefully. So now, guys, that's where there is what is that? They choose a person who we call conciliator. That person is the one who advises, who give both parties the alternative resolutions in order for them to settle their dispute. So if, guys, if it also failed in a conciliation process, which is CCMA, there are certain channel depending on the dispute. Maybe the dispute is a dispute of right or dispute of interest. So there are certain challenge. There are different challenges. There are different channels that you refer, and there are certain things that you need to put in line when you refer your matter to. Then, if it fails on a conciliation, which is CCMA, because on a CCMA, things are written down, everything, the solution, the failure, the dates, time, everything is written down. There will be a nomination of what we call that advisory arbitrator. The matter, the letter that have when you the employer and employees or trade union, when they go to arbitration, they go with that letter, that evidence to show. And arbitrator is somebody who is there to take a decision. Is there, he listen both parties. After not listening as such, checking both evidence, which evidence is weighing more than another, and checking to the rules, contract terms, terms that are in contracts, common laws. If it's a dispute of rights, if it's a dispute of interest, checking the alternative ways in which employee and employer they can meet each other. But on an arbitration stage, he or she takes those evidence, those two evidence, and sit it down and check both of them. That's where advisory arbitrator start to come up. Okay, guys, this thing goes this way and this way and this way and this way. So now, I think the best way, you employer, you must grant employee this and this, and you employee, you employee, you must grant employer this and this and this. So when once the matter it is on arbitration, within 14 days, on the 14th day, there will be an issuing of what we call arbitration award. Arbitration award is a solution or a decision that has been taken by arbitrator. Arbitrator is that person who is involved during the arbitration process. It can be arbitration advisor, but there are different arbitration advisor and arbitrator. So if guys, it also fail the matter is referred to the arbitration, for arbitration, within the period of 14 days, the arbitrator must issue the resolution, the answer, or the decision of which is which. Maybe employer win or employee win, or both parties don't win. For example, if it happened one of the parties is dissatisfied or is not happy with the solution, he or she can refer the matter, or they can refer the matter, the appeal. They can make an appeal to a labor court. So my people, that's the only info that I have. Labor court, they will refer the matter to labor court. That's where they will recheck and revisit the decisions and the evidence that is there in order to come up with the solid, that will be the last resolution. Sorry. So it's very important. If you have a problem, you must know this problem, is it I'm fighting for interest of rights, or dispute of interest, or dispute of rights. You must know between the two, because the channels, they are not the same. There are things that are, for example, a freedom of association. It is referred to labor court. The channels, everything, when you have an issue or problem, it has the ways that to channel it, because not everything is solved on a labor court. No. For example, freedom of association, as I told you, it is solved on a labor court. Dispute of interest in essential services, it is referred to arbitration by a council or commissioner. Dismissal related incapacity, if you don't work good, maybe you incompetent, maybe you are supposed to achieve, you're supposed to make 20 braids, and then maybe you make 10 every week. So now, even if we give you a training, still that one also we take it to arbitration by a council. So guys, that's all I've prepared today. It's not everything. There are certain information that I left behind, such as Con app or Med app and stuff. But because of the time is limited, I will keep on sharing the info bit by bit. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Yontwana mfitshane, izalendo ezinhle. Thank you, my people. Please share those videos.